It's important right now. We know de-escalation is one of those big things that's going around right now all over the country. It gets talked about a lot. A lot of the training that's put out for law enforcement right now is kind of focused on de-escalation. A lot of people feel like they're maybe too quick to react with an escalated use of force. And I think a system like this can really show officers where they can start to communicate with people and maybe not take it to that next level.
So what this machine does for us, it allows us to train our officers. It goes from less lethal to lethal scenarios where we can judge them on their reaction time and then also their verbal skills, de-escalation techniques.
I don't have to leave. I'm staying. I don't care. I am totally.
My job as the coordinator is I set up all the trainings, and then I'm also one of the lead instructors for this machine. So I will actually run them through the scenarios. You're going to have multiple threats. Some are going to actually be lethal threats. Others will be no shoot. So what this is going to do is going to judge or base you on your reaction time as far as from your pistol, and on your reaction time of a no shoot situation. And then at the end, when we debrief, I discuss different options that they could have done or shouldn't have done. And then from there, we can run them back through so the decision making makes a lot more sense to them.
The VR training is huge because number one, it gives officer safety. Officer safety is a very, very important issue with us, especially today when more assaults on police officers across the country is on the rise. It also gives them a chance to de-escalate. Just because you go to a person with a knife or a gun, you don't automatically pull your gun and be involved in an officer-involved shooting.
The training that we've always had is always been very good, but when we have an added training like this, what the benefit is it's a decision-making training tool. So we can put an officer into a very real-life situation, like I said, in a controlled environment, so that they can react and interact with the monitors. They're surrounded by 5 screens, 300 degrees, and they can interact with the simulation, so that it's a real-life situation that they can work their way through, not knowing the outcome, but in a controlled and safe environment.
It's the immersion of being able to actually be in the scenarios and having so many different types. And you have shoot, no shoot, you have de-escalation, you're dealing with people with autism, which is becoming more and more prevalent, mental health. Excuse me, say that again, bud.
Did I take the candy?
Can you take it? You can take it once you pay for it, but do you have any money on you? So it's pretty invaluable at this point. This is going to force people who may have a little bit of shyness or maybe a little bit more on the introverted side. It's going to force them to verbalize. It's going to force them to talk. It's going to force them to maybe have to escalate their voice or escalate their tactics. So it'll be really good for people to be using this.